Welcome everyone, this right here is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus. This right here is the official Samsung keyboard case, and I'll just like to review it, let you know how good it is and whether or not you should buy it. So first of all, let's just discuss the trackpad. So this is probably one of the best things about this keyboard case. First thing you need to keep in mind is you do need to like break in the trackpad. So at first it's like iffy to like use, but over time, and like when I mean over time, I mean like over 5 hours, maybe 2 hours, maybe 1 hour, it will work great. So it's a glass trackpad, and it feels really good to use. So even though it's a diving ball mechanism, I've seen with other trackpads like here-ish is where you can like click before it's like impossible. However, I mean, you can really click at the top, and it's like it's not even that bad. So like you can see right here, it requires a bit more pressure, but there's the trackpad isn't like concaving in itself. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever used those trackpads. And so really, even though it's a diving board, you can really use it anywhere. You can click anywhere. Now if you want to just tap, you can also tap anywhere around the trackpad. So that is a really cool. So there we go. I mean, you can't actually see the screen, but yeah, you can see click and then tap. There we go. I don't know why I had to like press multiple times. I probably just failed to tap. But anyway, overall, I really like it. I like the click. It's like really solid. And overall, I'd say it's pretty darn good. Now, the gesture responsiveness, I mean, it works 100% of the time. There is like no issues. Now, if you ever use an iPad Pro trackpad, the gestures are completely different. Are they better than the iPads? I wouldn't say they were. So like, I'll give you some examples. In fact, I have a full video on the gestures for the mouse and the keyboards. I'll leave that in the description. A quick summary, right? You swipe up with 3 fingers for multitasking, and you swipe up with 3 fingers in multitasking to go into the last used app. You swipe with 3 fingers down to go home, and you can do this multiple times. If I go to like this page, and again it will act as a home button press. You swipe with 3 fingers to go to an app. So let's say I'm in here, I swipe with 3 fingers, and then go to left, and then to the right, and we'll just do that again. To be honest, this is a bit glitchy at the moment. Like, it's delayed and stuff. You can see if I do it really quickly, it kind of breaks. However, it gets the job done, right? So there you go. You also have the option. So I'm going to sign into my main Twitter account. You have the option with 2 fingers. It essentially acts like a swipe. So, you know, if I swipe up and down. However, there's one bug which, like, I mean, I don't think anyone's reviewed this keyboard case, but if you like swipe like this, like that, oh, I don't know if you can tell. Do you see it happen right there? And again, it will swipe. So I'm like swiping this way, but then sometimes it will do like this. So I can't see. Can you capture that? There you go. Do you see right there? So it will swipe up and then it will like swipe back, even though this is the gesture I did, but it does a little swipe back, which is kind of annoying. So what I do is I like swipe, so I'll swipe and then I'll release, and then that issue never shows up. You can see. Oh, I assume that one because I had the finger still down. But like, what I do is I just like swipe like this instead of doing like this, because then that issue is prevented. It's just slightly annoying. It's just something to keep in mind. And of course, because it acts as a swipe, you can go to the home bar, swipe up with 2 fingers and it goes home, swipe up and hold. So really, I mean, overall it's pretty darn cool. I advise you watch that full gestures video in the description. Now let's talk about durability. Now, I'm kind of disappointed because, do you see this right here? This is a chip. Now, I actually don't know how enough this could happen, because you can see when you close the device, it's like this. So how on earth could it have chipped? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know. Now, you can't scratch this with your nail, as far as I can tell, the back right here. However, and it's not even a fingerprint magnet, so I really like that. It's not metal, obviously, and there is a bit of flex on the keyboard, but you know, it's not that bad. You're not really going to notice it. When people say flex, it's just like, did anyone ask, right? So we covered the trackpad, really solid. Let's cover the keyboard, and this is when it gets kind of disappointing. So first of all, no backlit keys, which honestly is a deal breaker. But there's like one reason why I bought this, which is, you know, there are no alternatives available. So it's really this or nothing. So obviously that's why I bought it. Now the keys themselves are, oh, they're very good. Now I use the Magic Keyboard on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, and these keys work perfectly fine. However, there's a software bug. So let me show you this, right? And this is a very big bug. So I don't know if this is just me, because this iPad I shipped from Korea, this is a UK keyboard case, so it could be an issue where, because this is a Korean iPad and I'm using a UK keyboard case, that there's conflicting issues. But if you set the default keyboard as a Samsung keyboard, you can have issues where sometimes the spacebar isn't recognized, sometimes the keys on the keyboard aren't recognized, and it's really annoying. So my fix is just go into the Play Store and you just download Gboard, right? You just get this, you open it up, and then you sell it as the main keyboard. And then once you do that, right, you just make sure you disable the touchscreen keyboard. And while it's not perfect, because if I show you, let me just search, you can see there's this little white bar here. However, it works 100% and there's absolutely no recognition issues, which is actually really good in my opinion. So as far as, like, you know, typing, it's an excellent experience. It's the exact same size as, you know, a full-size 16-inch keyboard, so it does a very good job. I hate the enter key, but this is just a UK keyboard. I usually buy US keyboards intentionally because I love this enter key. This one's horrible. Unfortunately, I didn't want to pay another. I paid 200 quid in import charges for this tablet, so I don't want to pay another 200 quid for the keyboard. That's just a thing. So we've already covered the backlight. Let's talk about the overall keys. So this will take a lot of time to get used to if you've ever used a MacBook, but it is possible to get used to. So the commands key, which you'd usually use, has been switched to the control key right here. So let's say open up some text, and usually on Mac you do Command Alt. However, there's Alt right here, so you can see it doesn't do anything. So if we do Control A, then it does all the stuff. So that's kind of cool. And also there are some other things. So if you want to, like, remove the entire row of text, you'd use Alt instead, Alt and backspace, right, to do that. Control and backspace only does a word. And if I remember correctly, I could be going a bit insane here. Oh, let's just have a look. So if I go here, I believe this does all usually. Yeah, so there's a bit of variations with here. Commands does them all, where Option and Alt does the word. However, on here, Control does a word, where Alt does also. There are some, like, variations that you have to get used to, but eventually you do get used to them. Now, one of my worst things I hate is you have to press the FN key combined with these buttons in order to do these actions. So this is like the app view, this is the multitasking, this is the home button. We have to hold down FN. Now, the thing is, I'm never using these function rows normally, so why can't I just press FN to get the function keys? And if I want to actually use the F buttons, then I have press FN and the functions, just like you do in Boot Camp. You can see right here, or even macOS, you press FN to get the function. However, on this, it's the opposite way around, which makes no sense to me. I think it's really annoying, especially if I want to do one hand and get into decks. It's not possible. So that's just something that I really hate. And also the delete key, I've never really seen a use for it, right? Like the delete key doesn't, like, backspace, that the backspace button does the backspace, so I don't know why that's here. There are some things that are, like, really weird, but there you go. And, like, the language button, like, okay, I guess that's cool, but I'm not using it. So there you go. So overall, should you buy this? In my opinion, I mean, you don't really have a choice. You know, the Tab S7 Plus kind of sucks without a keyboard and trackpad. Now, me personally, I think this is really good. If it was backlit, I would have had, like, barely any complaints other than those Control and Alt and the function. Otherwise, it's a solid keyboard. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as good as alternatives, because this uses a smart connect at the bottom, which means you have zero latency. Other keyboards are probably going to use Bluetooth. You're going to have a ton of lag, ton of issues. So I would advise you stick with Samsung. Kind of sucks that they couldn't put a backlight on it. I mean, even the caps lock, you don't know when that's on. On macOS, you do know when that's on, so you can see right there. So hopefully you guys enjoy. This is just a quick review. I've been using this device personally. This is my main tablet, so it's not like I'm just saying this out of the water. You know, oh, it's good, this, that. I personally use this tablet every single day. And also, I'm going to show you this while you're still watching, right? A great way to use your tablet. Get Dolphin. Then you can do this, which is, like, really cool. So that was not what I was trying to do. If I go into here, and I go to, like, Mario Kart, you can use this as, like, the joystick. Because obviously you don't have a a joystick on the thing, and then you can use the keyboard as the buttons. So then you can play your Dolphin games without using the touchscreen, but the keyboard as well, which I really like. So if I press A, then you also can use the touchscreen to control, you know, the on-screen thing, right? You can also use this, and it runs games so well. It's crazy. So if you want to see a benchmark, let me know. Like you can see, works great. Now obviously, it's not the best for me to just hold the device, but there you go. So we'll just go into here. I mean, how could I do this? I don't think it's possible. In fact, I will think of a way. Yeah, I have a way. No, I have a way. Let me just show you this. Oh, that's nowhere near good enough. Yeah, I can't really show it, but like, trust me, you use this, and then you can like use the buttons, and it's just so cool. I mean, it's going to be impossible to play one-handed, but it works so great, so I advise you look into that if you actually do buy this tablet. So I'll see you guys later. That was just a bit of a unnecessary thing, but bye-bye.